Provo, Utah. This is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Okay, welcome to a very special episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am your host, Caleb.
And I'm your other host, Joe.
And we have a guest here from our Patreon by the name of Minzara. Say hello, Minzara.
Yo.
Minzara, tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do, and how did you find the show?
I'm getting feedback again.
Just talk right through it.
Okay. I work in film production. That's what I do. How I found the show was I recently got a job that is about an hour away, so I didn't want to just sit there and listen to the radio all the time. It's kind of boring. Mm-hmm. So I actually didn't go to iTunes. I just Googled Final Fantasy podcast, and Union popped up, which is your guys' rival.
Those bastards.
And then you guys popped up under them. And then I clicked on Union. It was like, because it's the first link. That's what you normally do. And I clicked on an episode. I'm like, this sucks. So I clicked off of that very quickly. And then I clicked on your guys' not first episode, but the episode that was currently out, which I think you were talking about Final Fantasy 15 maybe at the time. And I was like, oh, these guys are pretty interesting. So I listened to about 15 minutes of that, and then I decided to go back to the beginning and listen to every single episode.
Ooh, damn, Soldier in 15. That's
rare.
Stroking the massive throbbing egos that we currently have.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, we forgot to do plugs twice.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, we can do that later. Okay, all right, that's fine.
So, let's see, what got you into Final Fantasy? I mean, where did it all begin?
When were you first introduced to the idea of Final Fantasy?
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
This is going to be a long story.
Okay, we got time.
So, I was introduced to Final Fantasy probably back in 1989. I was probably about 6 years old at the time. My dad actually was playing it on the NES. We bought the NES. We got it for Christmas. We had Mario, all that, and he bought the game and he was playing it, and me, my brother, my sister, even my mom, we all sat there and watched him play it, and we enjoyed ourselves watching him play. It was kind of like a family thing.
That sounds super fun.
What was that, sorry?
I said it sounds super fun.
He said in a sarcastic way. It's watching someone else play a video game is just about the most torturous thing you can go through. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing nowadays at PewDiePie.
Yeah, I still don't get it. I mean, we put out our stuff for Twitch just because that's what the people wanted, so we did it. But it's still just a weird thing.
Yeah, it's strange, but we'll get used to it. All right, so you watched your dad play FF1.
But he didn't like the grinding aspect, so he'd use me and my brother as his level grinders. So we would just basically take the characters and play it for hours, just grinding his characters for him, which he would then use to beat the bosses with.
Oh, that's smart. I should get someone to do that for me. I think I've thought about it before. Like, I should just have Caleb Craig just come over, and I'll let him do all the grindy stuff, and then I'll just, I'll be there for the story and the boss fights. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I suppose, if you don't want to play the game, but...
It's the good parts, the best parts. It's like taking the frosting off the cake.
I could agree with that, but you got to eat the cake too, though. I mean,
I assume you liked the cake.
Yes, it was fun. It was. In the long run, though, unfortunately, back in the old days, I don't know if you know this, but with the NES, you could only save one game, and it was like this ridiculous process. Mm-hmm. You would have to go to an inn and then hold the reset button as you save the the game.
Wow.
You would have to hold the reset button while you save the game? This is new information for me.
Yeah.
It was like the reset button or the power button or something. Yeah, it was something ridiculous. It was for the NES.
Wow.
That's really shitty. Like beyond
So anyway, we didn't know that there could only be one save spot. So we started a brand new team with 4 white mages as a joke.
Oh, boy.
And saved over his 40-hour game.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's half your game, isn't it? Like half your 40 hours.
Yeah.
If you were in fact doing all the grinding, that's pretty substantial waste of time right there.
Yeah, he was not happy with us.
I bet.
40 lashes, one for every hour lost.
Oh, come on.
So that was we ended up beating it because my dad gave up at that point. So we ended up starting a new game with a real team, and then me and my brother ended up going through and actually beating the game at that time.
So how did is there a multiplayer mode in FF1, or did you guys like take turns, or how did that work?
I was really young at the time, so I didn't really grasp the strategic part of it. So really, I just did the grinding, and he did like the main battles and stuff.
Oh, okay. So he's the one that went through and took out the bosses, and then you just did kind of the mindless stuff, I guess, is how he would.
The holding down the mashing down the attack button.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, because I was like 6 or 7 at the time, so I really didn't grasp strategy or anything like that.
That's understandable. So what happened after that? How did what was your next Final Fantasy after Final Fantasy I?
Well, the next one would have been Final Fantasy II / Final Fantasy IV, which is, that whole story. When we actually, for Christmas, my dad bought a Super Nintendo, and he bought Final Fantasy II / IV. And for the whole day, we sat around the TV as he played the game all the way to the part where Cecil becomes a paladin. So that's why that game personally holds a special place in my heart, because I remember back then when we were at Christmas and we were all a family playing that game the whole day, up to like 5 o'clock at night. It was pretty sweet.
Nice, yeah. I think that part's like an hour in, though, isn't it? Maybe it's a long.
It might have felt longer as a kid. No, it's a little later because you gotta go down the cave. You gotta defeat the octopus thing. That's all. You're still a Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I didn't have to go up the mountain.
Oh, I could see that taking a little while.
You meet Yang at one point, and then and then you fall off the ship, and then that's where you meet Porum and Porum.
Oh yeah, you're right. You do meet Porum and Porum.
It's a little further in.
All right, so your dad's not crappy, I guess. Final Fantasy.
So yeah, that is how that story. Eventually, he stopped playing that game, though, and then me and my brother again played that game, and then we beat it. Similar, but I was a little bit older at the time, so then me and him went back and forth more with that game.
Oh, nice. So you kind of grasped a little better this time through, and actually played some of the bosses and whatnot. So
exactly,
that's fair. So that's a legitimate beating of the game for you, then. I guess that's your first completion.
Wait, how old were you at that point, ish?
Ooh, maybe 11, maybe
11, and you beat Final Fantasy IV.
Nice.
That's pretty substantial, actually, for an 11-year-old.
Yet another fan that's better than us at these games.
There you go.
We're just the gimps that talk.
The next one down the next one would have been Final Fantasy VI, again Final Fantasy III. I didn't know at this point that there were different games. I found that out later. Mm-hmm. This one I again played with my dad, but this time we used the 2-player feature that I think was not in Final Fantasy II, but it was in this one, where he could control 2 characters and I could control 2 characters.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I've never figured out how to get that to work on the PlayStation. I know it's a thing, but I've never actually experienced the 2-player mode.
Yeah. I didn't activate it either, but maybe we should do that sometime.
I think it's in the settings. I don't quite remember either how to activate it, but I think it's in the settings. You just go in the menu and then settings and you put it in there. I don't remember how it works either. So we played that game together until we got to, and this is actually the last Final Fantasy my dad ended up playing, because we got to the point in the Opera House where you have to do the running part, where you have to run and do the timing part under 5 minutes, I think, or 10 minutes. You remember that scene?
Yes, I remember. Yeah. There's the Ultros fight. And,
during the timing, yeah.
Fuck that.
That part was actually, I remember that being kind of challenging on the last playthrough.
Yes.
My dad couldn't do it.
Oh.
He literally could not do it. He tried his hardest, and he had to hand the controller to me. And I guess handing your controller to your son to go beat something for you just demoralized him, and he never played the game ever again.
Yeah. Boy, you shame me. So did you beat it like first try then? Like,
Yes, I did. Actually.
oh God. Your dad is no son of mine.
That reminds me of another thing that happened in our playthrough of FF6, if you remember correctly. I believe there was some sort of dragon that you were having trouble with twice.
Oh, well, you banished doomed him. But.
You said if I could beat him on the first try, you will blow me.
I did.
And I beat him on the first try, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting for a while, pal. But the day will come.
I'm still waiting. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
In more ways than one.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
So that's a disgusting sidetrack there. And
So your father never played anymore. Did you finish FF6?
Yeah, I ended up finishing it by myself. That was the first one I guess I kind of completed completely by myself.
Nice. The beginning.
Yes, and it's still my second favorite Final Fantasy. That game is awesome.
I agree.
So, were you going into the store when 7 arrived?
No, I didn't. Okay, so I knew 7 was coming out. I was a Nintendo fanboy, and then the whole entire PlayStation thing happened where it was coming out for the PlayStation, but I didn't own the PlayStation. I still owned the Super Nintendo at the time.
Okay.
So I basically had to beg my father and mother, please get me the PlayStation. So unfortunately, they didn't get it to me before the game released. So the game released, and I think I had to wait another 2 months before I actually got the PlayStation, and then I got the game.
What was it like? We're younger, so we weren't really around when like FF7 was like a huge deal.
Well, we were around.
We were around, but not conscious of it.
We're like 12.
What was it like back then? Since you would have been in, kind of middle school age, it seems like. What was it like? What was the FF7 fever kind of like, or was there even a fever? Or are we? Yeah, was it projecting that?
Because I know it's a big game by our standards, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was big everywhere. So I mean, was there a lot of hype around it where you were? Kind of a thing, where you were just pumped.
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe I didn't have a lot of friends that played those type of games, but not necessarily. I mean, my brother was aware of the game, but he really didn't play it. My dad was done with the series, so I didn't really have anyone to talk about the game, and so not where I was. I mean, it was amazing in the fact that I used to watch wrestling back then, which was a mistake because wrestling's stupid. But anyway, when it was on TV, there would be commercials for the game, which I thought was huge because I've been playing the series since 1. I'm like, oh my god, my favorite series is on TV, and they were playing the CG sequences that are in the game, and you're like, oh my god, this game looks amazing. So I was super hyped, but not so much the people around me. They weren't really into that game. They were more into other type of games.
What was it like seeing that kind of jump in quality from FF6 to FF7, and you went from the Super NES to the PlayStation? What was that like?
It was pretty amazing. Before that, because we had bought 2 games as well. Before that, before I got 7, because my dad he forgot that he wanted to get me 7, so I had to wait another 2 weeks after I got my PlayStation to actually play Final Fantasy VII. So I was playing another game. It was called Vandal Hearts, which had actually a short kind of like CG sequence in it too. So I was kind of introduced to it there, but it was like a whole new step up with the Final Fantasy VII stuff, and it's still my favorite game today, so maybe that's the reason why it's my favorite game today, but that game blew my mind, and there's no game till this day that has blown my mind like that game.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm glad to hear it's number 1 there, and 6 number 2. It's okay. A lot of people disagree with that, but they're the underground of the community. So
what happened next then?
Did you get 8? Did you feel the drop? I mean, did you love it?
I did get 8. I got 9 as well. Both of those release day.
Nice.
As for 8, I liked it. I thought the story part with the whole entire orphan stuff was kind of silly. There was something weird about 8. I don't know if you guys feel this too, because you guys have played it as well. It's not a good game. 8 is not a good game.
Don't tell some of the people on the forum.
I'm not going to say a fucking thing to that. But go ahead.
But you want to play it for some weird reason. You think about, hey, I should go back and play that game. Then you start to play the game again. You're like, why did I ever think about wanting to go back and play this game?
That sounds like Joe.
I think I've said something similar. Yes, that's how it feels.
It's got a draw, and then you get there. And it's
this far into the podcast, after going through all 14 games in a row, and then there's a weird pull coming from 8. And I know I'll be 3 hours into the game, and I won't touch it again, but something makes me want to start it again. It's
and I feel the same way. I don't know why. It's weird.
There must be something about it that's pulling you.
Maybe it's the opening sequence. Maybe because the opening sequence is so badass, you just want to watch it again.
Yeah, maybe it is just the cutscenes. There you go.
Knows, yeah.
There you go. I guess but you could satisfy that by going on YouTube.
And then after that, I played Final Fantasy IX, which.
What did you like 8 I'm sorry. Did you like 8 at the time, and that's just how you feel now, or what?
I don't hate 8. It's in the mid. I mean, there's games I hate more than that. I hate 9 more than 8.
Oh,
wow,
that's rare.
They're grabbing their torches and pitchforks now.
Well, don't get me wrong though. I like all the Final Fantasy games. I think they're all good. The only one I really truly hate is Final Fantasy II. That's just a bad game, and it should be burned alive. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's the only Final Fantasy game I really hate. But I enjoyed 8 for what it was. I thought the graphics were definitely a huge step up, especially the CG sequences. Man, they were freaking amazing in 8 compared to 7.
Oh yeah, much better quality.
So what was it about 9 that you didn't like as much?
The art. I can't, and to this day, I can't. Not so much. The art's okay. It's mainly Kuja. I can't take a man seriously as a villain that walks around in the bikini. I just can't.
Do you have some sort of like? I don't know. I hate to piss you off here, but like it's like a weird sexual desire towards this woman man that you see before you. I thought Kuja was a chick for a long time. I really fucking did, and I'm like, that is skimpy there. And it's even more skimpy because he's got junk under that little plate.
Oh,
he's
God.
just smashing it into his skin, and I'm like, good God, what the fuck? And he's a badass too, so it makes it like it's just this confusing thing, and I don't know. I always thought Kuja was a woman until we played it, and I'm like, wow, that is a man.
I actually thought the same thing, and then I found out he was a man. I'm like, huh.
And then you just like you just were shamed, I'm sure. Like all those times. Oh my God.
Oh, come on.
It's never too far for me.
It's the art style. So I'm surprised because Kuja to me is like the epitome of androgyny and anime style. But you, we were talking here before the episode started. You are a man who does love his anime. So how do you justify androgyny or similar aspects to anime?
It's a bit different in that regard. I mean, usually when you have a character that does the androgyny like that, it's usually not in a full-on bikini.
That's okay. That's a good point.
That's a good point, too.
I mean, you have the look, like Sephiroth, especially in Advent Children, he looks very, very womanly in a lot of ways. But he's not walking around in a bikini.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll so can you tell the audience just how much anime you've consumed?
Over 400 shows, and if you do that in time, which I did on this website called my anime list, it goes up to like 400 days or something ridiculous.
So the man loves his anime. He knows what he's talking about.
Jesus goddamn Christ! I cannot believe how much anime this man has consumed.
Yeah, that's like up next to our movies almost.
I don't even know if it's even close.
I don't know.
The thing is, I probably consume just as much movies and TV shows too. I just love
media.
Yeah, media. There we go. I just love it. All forms of it.
There you go.
Nice. Well, so the it's handled differently with the bikini in 9, so I can see that. The art style did bug me as well until I got into the game, and then I was like, oh, the only one that I hate is Queen Braun, and then I'm like, oh well, she's dead now, so I don't have to worry about that.
And then we have the story itself, which the only good part of the whole story, and you guys touched on this in your review too, to me, was the whole Vivi stuff. I felt all the other stuff was okay, but I felt the Vivi stuff overshadowed everything else, because that was the really good part of the whole game.
Yeah, it was definitely the more meaty section of the story. I think there's a lot of good aspects to FF9's story. I'll defend it a little bit, but yeah, the Vivi part's definitely the strongest aspect of it, and you almost kind of lament that they didn't focus on that more, that it was a side plot as opposed to like the main plot. But no, I like FF9.
I even liked the Steiner Beatrix side plot more than a lot of the main stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, she's fucking hot to me for some reason. Love that eye patch.
So the art style for you, Schweiss, it does work.
Yeah,
at least in terms of Beatrix. Especially.
Oh god, yeah, that works on so many levels.
I think it's only one level.
yeah, it's one level.
Or Custis in your guys'
we didn't know of the friggin' Beatrix at the time. Like, yeah.
Well, I should have known, but I didn't remember 9 that well.
Yeah.
And it was just being reminded later on.
It's all there. It's all there, baby.
There so, FF9, did you play any of the PlayStation spin-offs, like Tactics or anything like that?
Yes, and Tactics is actually my third favorite game.
Okay.
Got a lot of Tactics fans out there. They're really into that one.
It's really, the story in that game is like Game of Thrones level. It's really crazy good.
I'm excited to get to it.
Yeah, that sounds epic.
So, So, how did you get into Tactics? And
it just came around the same time, and I was willing to beat anything in Final Fantasy. Like, I played Final Fantasy Mythic Quest too. I don't know if you've heard about that one.
Yes. We know all about that one. So.
Not a good game. I feel sorry that you have to play it.
So you've played all these Final Fantasies in a row. At what point did you decide you were a Final Fantasy fan? Was it around FF7 time or what?
I mean, I would probably say I was a fan since like 2. I mean, I was really into the series. I mean, I got really into it at 7 for sure, though. Because that's my favorite game ever. But I would probably say I was a fan since 2 for sure. 4, sorry.
You should be.
So after FF9, what about FF10?
Again, I got that release day. I enjoyed that game for what it was. I don't see the annoyingness in Titus, or Titus, whatever the hell you want to call his name. I didn't even find the laugh ridiculous, but people don't like his character. I don't see why. But overall, I really enjoyed that game as well. I thought it was really well done. The hair was kind of ridiculous, but whatever.
Oh, like the I know what hair you're talking about. Seymour's hair, right?
Yeah, the antlers.
Or is it Waka's hair?
Oh, Waka's is pretty bad too. Yeah.
Man, Waka's. It looks like a. Is it a peacock? What are those things? A quail?
Quail, yeah,
quail. That's what it looks like.
Peacock, yeah.
Looks like a quail.
I tell you though, maybe this is because I'm a big anime fan. I've played that game undubbed, which is where you basically play it in Japanese, and to me, the game is 100 times better in Japanese.
Really? They got some big ticket voice actors for that Final Fantasy X, though. I mean, you've got what the hell's the guy who plays Waka? Big ticket here.
I know, the robot on Futurama. Yes.
And then you got James Arnold Taylor. They're both really big guys, like, as far as voice acting goes.
So do you know Japanese or something?
Yeah,
I've watched enough Japanese where I can pick up on words now.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow. I bet. I guess you got like a year and a half of listening to Japanese
straight anime
for all day. So I'm guessing you played the English version first, so playing a Japanese version wasn't that big of a deal afterwards then.
DiMaggio is that guy's name, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played that way down the road. Like, I think like 3 years ago, I think I played 10 in Japanese. So not that long ago.
Did you just like get on Amazon and purchase a copy or what?
No, I did it via torrent and
Well, see, the problem with downloading it or buying it online is you'd have to get a regional PS2 as well. So we'd have to get a PS2 that's region locked to Japan.
My justification is I do actually own the game, so I don't think it was.
All right. We won't delve too far into the questionable behavior.
Yeah. Don't want to talk about no FF1 here.
What'd you think of 10-2? Did you play it?
Okay, so this is what happened with 10-2. This is legitimately what happened. I bought the game, super excited for it. I actually didn't watch any trailers on the game. I was like, oh, sweet, 10-2. I rented it, actually, because I saw it at the rental store. I put it in the machine. That music kicked up. The intro song.
What can I do for you?
I officially took it out of the machine and returned it back to the game store.
Is that the last you've seen of Final Fantasy X?
Oh, jeez.
I've seen some gameplay videos, but yes, I was done after that.
Oh, you got to play through it with us, though. Come on, join us.
It's our game after George. We're of course recording this ahead of time for anybody who's confused with me saying it.
Right? Yeah.
But
yeah, that's the only Final Fantasy game I ever quit, and I quit at that. Oh God,
that's pretty damn early.
Oh God,
it's pretty bad. I fucking hate it.
There's people out there who defend that game adamantly.
Yeah,
and I hope, since I have to play that thing, or have played it, I'm not sure the order of these episodes. I hope that I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I hope they were right the whole time.
Well, I remember the battle system being fun, but that's about all I recall. So, did you make the jump to the MMO? That was the real question here. Did you play Final Fantasy?
Yes, this is where I remember I sent that review in about you guys totally destroying this game in your review.
On FF11?
I started. Yes, well, you didn't destroy it, but you guys didn't like it that much.
Yeah. Well, we would have hated it even more back then, though. You got to realize this. So go ahead.
I started the game NA release day, which was a very interesting experience because it had been out in Japan for a year and a half at that point. So you had all these Japanese players sitting in front of the auction house trying to teach you how to play the game in their very, very badly translated English. It was pretty funny, but they were trying to teach all these English players do this, and so it was a very interesting experience playing and then seeing all these people play with you. There was people I played with for years that I saw running around with me and healing me, and then the partying aspect of the game. It was a very, very unique experience that I have not gotten to this day in any other game. You won't ever be able to get in the game again because it's never going to be like that again with the trust and all that. It's a very, very, very different game nowadays.
Oh, yeah. It's totally different.
And unfortunately, I didn't knock you guys for it because you won't ever be able to play the game that originally was intended to be played like.
Yeah, we have no way of actually going back, so can't parade us too much.
I assume you liked the game then.
Yeah, it sounds
yes,
like
I have a total of 600 days playtime between all three of my characters.
Oh! How many days do you have?
Hey, what is this?
You got 400 days of anime, waking days. We figured it out earlier.
This was during a time when I didn't have a girlfriend or a wife, which I'm currently now married, so I don't have the time I used to do it.
I was hoping you were going to say I have both now. But
he's got a guma.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Shut up.
The funny part about another reason probably why 11 holds a special place in my heart is that's actually where I met my wife.
Oh boy!
What? Really?
Yep.
Tell us the story.
Well, I was just trying to invite people to my link shell, and she was just a random character running by. I'm like, I saw she didn't have a link shell, so I was trying to build my link shell up, and so I sent her an invite, and then we just slowly got along, and the rest is history.
Nice.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So look at that, Final Fantasy, bringing people together.
Did she have a girl character, though? That's the question.
Yes, she did.
Okay, and yours was a guy, right?
Yes, it was. I wasn't playing them.
Not that I'm treading.
What they used to call them, I don't know if you guys knew this, they used to call them back in the old days, because it used to happen, they used to call them Mithras, Manthras.
Mantras. Wow.
Because all the men used to play them.
Wow.
That's freaky. That's awesome, though. That's pretty intense that, you met through this online community.
That's absolutely insane to me.
Yeah, one of my buddies, Christian, is one of his best friends he's never actually met. Adam guy. They've never met in real life, ever.
They just talk over TeamSpeak?
Yeah, they just know everything about each other, like from TeamSpeak and World of Warcraft. No, they're not married, but,
Of course, back then, you guys mostly communicated in the chat bar, right?
Well, let's reiterate this. I played Final Fantasy XI for about 2 to 3 years, and I quit, moved on to like life things, and I came back for another 6 months, and boom, then came back again there. And I came back. This is about the time I came back was around 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2010, 2011. Mm-hmm. And it was with a new character again. This is like my third new character, and that's when I met her.
Fuck that, man. 3 characters. You're nuts.
And he's been married now for 6 years.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
Although I could see, I'm sure as we talked about in our 11 review, the game is like really brutal, but I mean, did you find it more fulfilling to go back and like know what you're doing and kind of have everything set up? Like, was that the reason, the big pull for creating a new character, or did you, like, what was the reasoning behind that? Just curious. Just run out of stuff.
Nostalgia, I guess. I mean, I just enjoy the world. Going back into it very, it feels nice. It's like I'm in the familiar world.
Okay.
Because I invested, as you see, 600 days into it. It's like a whole entire new world to me. Because the music, everything it feels very nice to me.
Yeah, I mean, you've spent more time in that world than I may have in the real one. So it's a good chunk of time. You're like, this is real, and the outdoors is not anymore.
There you go.
And that's why it holds a special place in me. That's why I was saying that episode when you guys were talking about it, the way I was like, all the stuff you were saying about it hurt me.
We still rated
I enjoyed
it
so much.
Look, man, the game is brutal. It is, if I guess at the time, maybe like, to me, it's like, well, if you were an MMO fan, you have a limited number of games, and I can understand a Final Fantasy fan going in and playing 11. But for us, even though the game has been nerfed, it's a brutal, unforgiving, very, very long game. Despite it not feeling like it had all that much going on in terms as far as the original game goes through the missions, the first 5 missions and up to 10 as we later visited.
Yes.
It just didn't feel like story wise that it was really that fulfilling. But I guess community wise, things were different back in the day.
I totally get it. I understand why you guys don't like the game, and it's not like something like, oh, you guys are stupid because you hate that game. I totally understand why.
Okay.
Well, we like it though. Is the thing. Like,
there's things about it we like.
I'm looking forward to coming back to it. To be honest,
you looking forward to the expansions?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
I think I'm going to try to get on there with you guys. I'm on a different server, so it might be kind of hard. So I might have to try to switch servers. But I think I want to try to get on there with you guys.
That'd be awesome. We need all the help we can get for Final Fantasy.
God. That game is super unforgiving. With 600 days of Final Fantasy XI, that is a feat. What was the player in Final Fantasy XIV? Was it Dr. Roxo had a shit ton of days?
He's got like a year.
He's got like a year into it. Okay, so he's not even like half the.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to Minzara. Do you log off when you're done, or do you just chill?
No, I log off.
See, that's real.
My God.
Roxo stays on sometimes.
Wow.
He just like leaves it on and forgets to log out, or just doesn't care. I mean, I'm sure.
I got 100 days on 14 already.
Damn, dude.
My only assumption is that there are some players that like their entire life is like they go to work, then they come home and play the game, and then they just kind of pass out on their computer keyboard, and like that's it. That's their whole day. Yeah.
Sounds like a dream.
And they just like, I don't know, they got like an IV of licorice, and it's just like pumping in
so they get sustenance.
Yeah, so they get sustenance. Like that's what I imagine some players doing. Like,
is that accurate?
Forgetting to log off like sounds like someone
like
passing out in front of their computer.
And
then like they wake up for a whole new day of Final Fantasy 14 or 11 or whatever. It's that's what I see in my mind. Maybe it's inaccurate.
No, I can see that too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some players out there that are like that. I can't.
The reason probably why, going back to the fact that I've played FF11 so much and FF14 and watched anime as well, is my wife also does all that.
Okay. Oh, nice, good score there.
So I watch anime with her. I play FF11 with her. I play 14. So it's not something where I have to do. Not with her.
You're not taking time away.
That is time spent with. That's a great great way to go about it.
That's good job.
Of course, not that that's surprising considering you met her on Final Fantasy XI, but still.
All right, so now we're going into the age of the modern age of Final Fantasy. I believe begins with 12. 2006, yes. Man. Where were you, and how did 12 come into your life at all?
Yes, I was in California at the time.
Okay.
And I played that game. I enjoyed it. Again, it's not one of my favorite that fast, but I think it's a good game for sure.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking forward to the HD remaster that's still rumored?
Yes, I'll probably play it and try to platinum it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what those hunts though.
Oh man, I love that shit.
So,
my bone to pick with 12 though is a lot of people. My favorite villain by far in the Final Fantasy series is Sephiroth, but I think Vayne deserves more credit as a really good villain. And not a lot of people say, "Oh, he's a great villain." I thought he was a really good villain in that game.
Okay, what's your reasoning why? What
I don't know. I just enjoyed the way he controlled everyone like a pawn almost, I guess. Kind of like Game of Thrones, just like where he moved people around like pawns, kind of like the Lannisters, and did these underhanded tactics. He was very villainry, but at the same time he was wanting to do it because he believed it was for good. And then like my favorite line of the whole game is I believe something like, "Why stain my hands now when they're already stained," or something, or already blood, or something like that. Basically saying his hands are already covered in blood, so why stop now?
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea behind that was trying to rid themselves of the Okuria, the gods that kind of reigned above man, sort of thing. Exactly. So he had an admirable cause, really. Like, he's like, I'm tired of these guys that are useless, so let's get out of here. But then it didn't work out so well, and he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm just going to try to destroy. So, yeah, and I kind of liked him as a villain, too. I could see that, and he is kind of a Littlefinger almost character where he's just like manipulating everybody and framing good stuff.
But just like everyone else, the person that ruined the game for me was Van.
It was Vaughn,
yeah.
Van,
fucking
whatever you want to call him.
I was about to say, on your whole thing about Vayne being such a good bad guy, I think he himself is an interesting character, but his opposition to the protagonist, the main character, Vaughn, is almost zero.
Well, he's trying to take over his country. That's a pretty big...
But it's not really a Vaughn versus Vayne game.
No, it's a politics game.
Vayne is doing this stuff, and Vaughn and his friends are kind of like figuring stuff. That's why I think Balthier would have been a much better. That's another reason Balthier would have been a much better guy to focus on.
I think Bosch would have been the initial.
Or excuse me, Bosch. I said Balthier, but I meant Bosch.
Balthier could have been the main too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
anyone but him, really.
So what about 13?
Again, that was another game where I played it and I really enjoyed it, and then I went on the internet and people were tearing in a new one.
Oh,
yeah. I think no, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the best FF again, but I don't think it's nowhere near as bad as people say it is.
Okay, I'm in your camp. I'm definitely in that camp. I didn't realize how hated it was until like a little later. Like just the negativity just started coming in a couple months after 13 came out.
Yeah.
And then it became, besides it being extremely well reviewed by critics and being such a big hit, it became this like every Final Fantasy fan worth their salt hates this game. And I never felt that way about 13. And it seems like other people's opinions kind of changed about Final Fantasy with that game. I mean, 12 had a negative impact, but not nearly the same as 13.
It didn't have a negative impact
to the major loud fan base.
Yeah, it's 12's great. Come on. 13, yeah, it did have some hate, and it wasn't nearly as well reviewed as others. I mean, it's still like in the 80s from what I remember on Metacritic.
On Metacritic, yeah.
So that's good for a game. That's good. Like I don't get how that's like a negative thing, but it is a step down as far as like how everyone was receiving it. And you're right, a lot of people fucking hate 13. And there's some stuff to hate. There really is. There's some really poor things in the game, but you know, there's still some great elements of it. Like, what was your justification to, like, if you were to get into an internet rage fight with one of these assholes that's just trashing it, what would be your main point of justification for the game being valid?
It's basically Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
It runs the same exact gambit, but without a good villain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It has a lot of the same elements of FF10. I mean, it was made by basically the same group of people.
Yeah, it was.
So you see that a lot. As you know, 12 was made with people that worked on 11 and 9.
The elite. And 6.
And 13 was definitely the 10 team.
Oh, yeah.
And we're seeing different teams now. It's not the same as it used to be. It's kind of sad, huh? With 15, it's not really like the 10 team or the 13 team working on it. It's just...
Yeah. Well, the 13 team probably seppuku, but
maybe after their 13 trilogy.
Yeah,
Lightning
like,
Returns is a failure. I don't even. Does that thing even sell 1 million copies?
I'm not sure. We'll have to look that up.
So it's like 500,000.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because I remember it was like 1/3 less each time. So like, so the first one sold 6 million copies. The second one sold 2 million copies, and then whatever 1/3 of 2 million was Lightning Returns.
That's pretty rough, man.
So. Yeah, it is pretty rough. Did you play any of the other 13 games? Were you?
I've played them.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're okay. I personally still think 13 is better.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of people out there that have been almost coming out of the woodwork saying 13.2 like fixes 13, and so you're not part of that camp. Then you're still sticking.
I think
to 13.
the story. I think Caius, who's the villain of the game of 13.2, is a good villain, and he makes up lack of a villain or a good villain in 13. Because Barthanian was all stupid. I don't know what the hell that stuff was. But I think the rest of the story is pretty weak, and then I don't know, the game just didn't work for me. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. I definitely think 13 is definitely better than 13.2 and Lightning Returns.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's coming up, so you'll hear our opinion of it as well.
So you guys might think differently. They're definitely much more open. They're much more open. They're definitely the total opposite of linear.
Okay,
there you go.
That sounds like my cup of tea.
That sounds like Schweiss's cup of tea right there. So past 13, did you ever play 14? What other FF spin-offs did you play that you want to talk about?
I played Crisis Core, obviously, which you guys just got done playing. Thought that was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed Zack. I thought he was a better character in Cloud.
Suck that.
In my personal opinion.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Take that, Joe. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I did enjoy it.
And then I played pretty much all of them. I played the After Years. I thought that was okay. It wasn't amazing. Okay. Dirge of Cerberus, it's okay. It wasn't anything amazing.
Did you find all the capsules? Did you do the extra missions in Dirge of Cerberus? Now, I'm the only one here, unless you have, that did like all of those. Do you remember doing any of those, like in the extra missions?
No, I just did the main story, but I think didn't unlock the final cutscene where you see Genesis.
Yeah.
Doing those or I watched the final cutscene on YouTube, but I didn't actually do any of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's too bad.
Do you like your hog status, Schweiss?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
I am rising in the air currently. No, I don't know. It's got its issues, but did you? What did you like about the 7 universe? Like, did Crisis Core come anywhere near 7 in your eyes? Because I know the way we're doing our rankings now, we're kind of rating the games up against each other in their respective universes, and from the sounds of it, yours is 7 Crisis Core and then Dirge. But I mean,
Yes, for sure. Okay. I mean, 7 is definitely the better game than Crisis Core, but I really did enjoy Crisis Core. I thought it was a very well done game. It really complemented the story of Final Fantasy VII. I don't think it really ruined anything. Whereas Cerberus, just the whole Ragnarok. I've only played the game once, so I vaguely remember it. But like he had to stop Ragnarok. Vincent did, and he was gonna blow up Earth or something, or Gaia. I don't know. It was really stupid. The story kind of was, and Dirge of Cerberus. I don't know if you agree with that.
I remember not being too big of a fan of the story, but I don't know. I liked the gameplay, so I played it like 3 times.
You like the gameplay?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting used to it.
All right. I guess I'll find out if I like the gameplay after this.
Yeah. Before this, actually.
Before this for the audience. For me, it's it's time travel right now.
Yeah.
So did you ever play 14?
Yes, 14 I actually started on the beta.
Really?
Way back in 1.0.
What was that like?
Okay, so 14 is actually a very, very different game than it used to be, and it's actually made an evolution it made a lot of evolution. When the game first came out, how it worked is you would have like abilities, like you'd have like this punch ability or this the kick ability, whatever ability you have, and you'd have the stamina bar, and the stamina bar would be like maxed out, and every time you did an ability, the stamina bar would slowly go down, but it would slowly go back up too, and as you did attacks faster, that would go down slower, so you kind of had to manage that stamina bar to get like a consistent amount of attacks, so you weren't just like blowing your load right at the beginning of the battle.
No, that's a problem I certainly have.
TMI. So that's how the game started off. I mean, I didn't hate the game. I think it was an okay game. I played it. I'm a legacy player on the game, so I only pay $9.99 a month now versus the $12.99 you'd have to pay, which is kind of sweet.
Cha-ching.
Because if you're a legacy player, you get a discount for the rest of your life.
That's pretty epic.
So I played the game all through 1.0, all the way up until the whole entire world got hit by the meteor, which is very interesting because it was like all these monsters were invading the cities, and like some people would be sitting there AFK, and this freaking little crab just come up and just smack them in the face and kill them. It was freaking hilarious. So it was interesting when the world came to an end, but overall the game. There are certain aspects, so towards the end, after they changed the combat system to a different kind of combat system in patch 1.23, it became a very different game. It became kind of like a hybrid of what you see in the current 14 and Final Fantasy XI. And I actually preferred that combat over the current 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so how much Realm Reborn? I mean, obviously you played a little bit. What do you think about Realm Reborn?
I really enjoy it. I mean, I have 100 days playtime in the game overall, so I've really played the game. I have level 50 in all my jobs, and I have a level 60 Dark Knight and level 60 Ninja right now, and I have 2 crafts at level 50.
Have you platinumed it? Are you playing on PC, or what are you playing it on?
I play in a mix of both, depending on how I'm feeling that day.
Have you platinumed it on the PlayStation?
No, I haven't. I haven't really done a lot of the higher level, and I've done bits of Coil, which is like one of the higher ends. Now it's Alexander is the current one, but I haven't done too much of that. So no, I haven't, unfortunately. And
will you play 15 when it comes out?
Oh, of course. I'm super excited for that game. Like, I think it's going to be the best Final Fantasy yet. Maybe not better than 7, but it looks really good.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope it is the best by far.
Don't we all hope that it's right? Like, I feel like this podcast is dead if it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like.
I don't know about
Is that what you guys think? Do you think if Final Fantasy 15 fails, like this epically fails, that the series is done?
Well, my concern is just how many years they put into the project, and I don't even know like how many people have gone through the project, how much money they've put into it. If Final Fantasy 15 fails, yeah, it's gonna be Final Fantasy's not coming back for like 10 years. That's what it's got to be.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to restructure something.
But it can fail critically and be commercially successful, and I think it will be commercially successful
regardless. Yeah.
So maybe my opinion doesn't matter on this as much, but
yeah, it's Batman versus Superman, says I.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. Where it doesn't fucking matter what the critics think. It sells a shitload of copies.
Yeah, it's a superhero movie, so fuck it. It's gonna make money.
Well, yeah, and it's a main series Final Fantasy game, so it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell at least 5 million copies. That's the floor, right? That's where it will sell. And so,
how do you feel about all the extra content? I mean, we just barely we've talked about the 15 stuff a few times. Caleb and Joe had their little talk over the Uncovered event.
Yeah.
And we also had an episode about our reactions to the 15 stuff. And I mean, how do you feel about everything that's coming out? I mean, do you think are you excited for it? Does it make you more excited for 15? Less? The same? What do you think about Kingsglaive and the little anime that they came out? I'm sure you love the anime from what that's with. But.
Yeah, I thought the anime was good, but I'm not, see where your guys are more reserved. You guys, again, you guys didn't like Advent Children.
No.
I enjoyed Advent Children. So
tisk.
I thought you said you've seen movies. No, I'm just kidding.
You're such a dick.
What'd you say?
I thought you said you watched movies.
Yeah, he edits commercials for
boom. Yeah, I know.
Here's to defend my love for Advent Children. Is it unconventional in storytelling? Yes, but so was Citizen Kane when it came out.
Oh, bull.
But now am I comparing it to Citizen Kane? Hell no. Citizen Kane is a landmark movie where it did stuff, but it did things differently. But I don't think that makes it a bad movie.
Yeah, well, I think most of our negativity comes from the last one we saw was like complete. And look, the original Advent Children has good stuff in it, a lot of good action. It's visually very beautiful. I can't say much as far as character development is concerned, and how much the plot actually makes sense. I know it makes sense I can look it up on Wikipedia and figure out what everything is doing kind of level, but it doesn't really it's not clear as an audience member what the fuck is going on with Kadaj and Sephiroth and all that other shit. But there are good things about Advent Children. I gotta say, dude, the complete edition with the added scenes, it makes the movie skew-wampus.
Yeah.
The beginning is like the first act of the movie is 50 minutes long. And then it just kind of finishes from there. Do you defend Advent Children complete?
Okay, maybe this goes to the fact that I watch lots of anime, and Advent Children is structured a lot like storytelling in anime, or storytelling in Japanese in general. Japanese tell stories very differently, especially in animated films. When you have 13 Samurai or whatever, that's a more conventional film, but their anime tells story differently than Hollywood. So I'm exposed to that more, and so to me it wasn't that much of a jar to me because I'm used to that already. So to me, complete was fine.
Oh, wow. I hated the intros. I thought it was shit that it had 5 different beginning points. And then it got into it. But
it's the movie that never starts.
Yeah, no, it did, let alone ends, right? But, the last time we watched Advent Children was obviously our drinking game. And that we can't do it justice there. I can't remember much anyway. I just remember drinking fucking crazy.
To meet a leeway here. And by a film by itself, it's not great. It really isn't.
Thank you.
But when you compare, when you put it with, but that's like saying watching Return of the King without watching Two Towers. You have to play the game before you watch the movie. And if you play the game and watch the movie, I think the movie makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't have problems with the plot, honestly. I understand what's going on with Kadaj and with the other, clone dudes. I get that they're, they have the same genetic material, yada yada. Same thing that happened in 7 happens with them, the whole clone thing, taking on the embodiment of Sephiroth.
I think I liked Advent Children more when I had never played 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's...
Because then it just pales in comparison.
Yeah, I guess.
But it does make more sense. I just remember thinking at the time this makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
But I'll just go along for the ride because it's cool action.
What do you say about where would you place it in the 7 universe that we have currently? I mean,
see, that's where you get me. I would place it definitely after Crisis Core. I would definitely say it's better in Dirge, though.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can. Well, I disagree, but I can see that. That's fair.
Well, you like the gameplay in Dirge, that's why. I think the story in Dirge is a bit weak.
Yeah, it's fucking weak from what I recall. But you guys have already heard about that. Wink, wink.
Okay, all right. So Minzara believes that Advent Children is Citizen Kane, right? Right. That's what you said, right?
Okay. Now you're mixing my words here.
I'm messing with you. It's fine.
I'm gonna make him have a freaking aneurysm here.
No, Citizen Kane is a.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, well let's do your rankings and then we'll do the quiz, shall we?
Sure.
Do you got your rankings in front of you?
I do actually.
Okay, all right.
Man, prepared more than us.
So,
not that that's hard, but.
All right. So what's your official Final Fantasy rankings?
And what my rankings, I'll tell you what my favorite game is and how many times I've played that game.
All right,
that's fair.
That's fine.
We love it.
7, and I played it 18 times.
Oh my god! All right.
Okay. 100 wiki days.
For obvious reasons, we went over it already. It's an amazing game. FF6, I played that 5 times. Then FF11, which, I played 600 days of that. FF4, which I played 5 times. FF14, 100 days. FF1, which I played 6 times. FF10, which I played 3 times. FF13, which I played 3 times. FF8, which I played 6 times, which I don't know why. FF12, which I played 3 times. FF5, which I played 2 times. FF3, which I played 2 times. Then FF9, which I played 2 times. And then my least favorite game is FF2, which I played 2 times.
Wow.
Damn, dude, that's a lot of Final Fantasy.
I think I know someone who should be doing a Final Fantasy podcast.
Yeah.
That is some impressive that's some impressive numbers. So 11 in third place. That's pretty unusual.
9 being down there is unusual.
As well as FF10 under FF1. That's also a little unusual. And 9 being second to last in the main series. That's pretty incredible, man.
I don't know if this is because the reason probably why 1 is so high is because I played it since it was the first Final Fantasy I played, and I played it when I was 6. So it's a nostalgic thing.
Okay, so you're factoring nostalgia into the list.
That's fair. Most people do.
Yeah, I know.
And then again, FF11. We had the whole history about that, so that's why it's so high on my list.
Of course. I mean, it's an important game to you, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. It's only the rest of his life, Okay,
there you go. All right, Schweiss, do you have a quiz for us?
You know what? I do.
You do?
I do indeed.
You're going to go grab it?
Yes, give me 1 second.
He's getting up and he's going to grab his notebook. And
I'm bad at these quizzes.
Coming back. So am I, and that's why it's us. That's why we're playing this.
Stump the Host begins. All right, so the rules are simple. Minzara starts. He gets 1 try. If he fails, Joe gets a try, and then Minzara gets 1 backup try. We will alternate on who starts on each question. There are 5 questions, so the advantage goes to the listener. Are you ready?
I am ready.
No. But yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So what is the name of the floating red ball enemy in the Final Fantasy VII universe, Minzara?
Red enemy?
Yeah, floating red little balls. They're found in Crisis Core and in the Northern Cave of Final Fantasy VII.
I've played this game 18 times. Seriously?
I've only played it 3 times.
See, that's why I suck at these quizzes.
I told you to train. I freaking told you.
No, I'm passing. I can't.
All right.
No.
All right, Joe. Do you have an answer?
Oh, God, dude, you fucking suck. Why do you do these things?
I know the answer. I didn't have to look this one up. That's why I do these things.
I remember I fought one in Crisis Core like 3 days ago. That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah, there's a ton of them in Crisis Core. They're fuckers, too.
Oh, shit.
They don't take damage.
Are they eggs?
Yeah, they're the egg-like things that float.
That was my answer.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Okay, Minzara, you get a second chance.
You're the type of person that's good at tests, aren't you?
No.
That he knows this answer, because I honestly don't know. I give up. I don't.
Right.
I can't even vaguely remember.
They're called movers.
Oh, they are called movers.
Yeah,
they're the ones you grind the AP off of in the final area of 7.
Yeah, they are.
I remembered what they were. I just couldn't remember what they were called.
You thought they were what?
Green. Am I remembering that wrong?
Yeah,
you might be colorblind.
They're red-orange. They're reddish-orange enemies floating around.
Yeah, they're definitely red or orange.
By the normal eye standard. All right, so we move on to question 2. Joe, what is the name of the village that the bunny people in 12 come from?
Hold on, I know this. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot.
The bunny people?
I know the bunny people, you goddamn piece of shit.
The bunny.
I'm seeing the name Erut Village.
I'll let it slide. It's Urit, but it's...
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I got it?
Yes.
Did you know the answer, Minzara?
I actually didn't know the answer to that one.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, screwed over. All right, so
okay.
Joe is leading 1-0. Question number 3. Minzara, what is the name of the Kilika Blitzball team in Final Fantasy X?
The Kilika?
Yeah, the Kilika blank.
You piece of shit.
I knew you were going to hate this one because you have no idea. Fucking hate Blitzball. People at home are freaking out.
They always are. You ever listen? You just watch watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or listening to Doug Loves Movies is another one. Where
Yeah, I do that a lot.
You're just like yelling at the screen. You're just like, "This is the answer." But of course, when it's on the spot, it's hard to.
Why is no one said Blade Runner? Or like when someone messes up on that show, like someone messed up on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They mixed it up with a Willy Wonka.
Was it
He was pissed.
Beast or Kilika Beast or something?
Yep, Kilika Beasts.
Oh!
Tie ball game here. Tie ball game. All right, this one I think Joe's going to have some trouble with, although maybe not, considering our online friend Spoonie. What is the name of the Uber weapon in Final Fantasy X-2? I haven't played.
I've never played 10-2. You fuck.
Minzara knows.
Oh, you.
I quit the game.
Oh,
maybe you don't
play it
yeah.
either.
Shit,
Well,
maybe
look
you
at that
don't.
unfair question, you fuck.
Oh, the last one he's going to get, so you better get this.
Oh, God. The greatest weapon in 10-2. The Uber weapon.
Yeah, like the one that the enemies have. The one that's supposed to destroy the world.
Oh, how the fuck would I know this?
He makes fun of it all the time.
It's a something sphere. There you go.
Is that going to be your answer?
Yeah, sphere is my answer.
No. You got anything, Minzara?
No, I'm not going to attempt that.
God damn it, you people. All right, Joe, do you got one more?
No.
All right, it's the Vegna gun. Remember?
Oh, God damn it. I should have remembered that from Spoonie.
Yeah, he calls it the Vegna cock because it looks like it's very phallic.
Oh.
So,
Shit. Minzara, have you ever watched Spoonie Experiment?
Yes, actually, I watched his FF8 review.
Oh yeah, he's got an FF10 and a 10.2 review, and they're amazing.
5 stars for the 10.2. It is the greatest.
They're
thing
better
ever.
than the FF8 review. Like they're amazing.
Yes.
Okay, what's your next question? This one's for Minzara, right?
Yes, Minzara. This is the tiebreaker. It is tied at 1-1. What is the name of the giant dinosaur, the really big one in Final Fantasy XIII? Talking the one that drops the trophy for killing.
The giant dinosaur.
Yep. Big turtle guy.
Is that the white one?
They're kind of bluish, grayish.
Yeah, they have like really long,
They're lightly colored.
long necks, tall as fuck. I don't know if you do know it, Joe. Joe thinks he knows, but it's not what you'd think. Although it could be. It could be.
I think it's an A, right?
No. That's close. There's an enemy that's like that it evolves.
Yes, I might be remembering the wrong one.
You're close though. It's it evolves from one that starts with an A.
Shit. Yeah, I think there was one that I think it was like Adam and something. That's one I'm remembering.
That's close.
Yeah, I don't. It's like Adam and Child. That's one I'm remembering.
Adam and Child? No.
Yeah.
Not the one. All right, Joe, what do you got?
Catoplebus?
Nope.
You fuck!
Catoplebus is the giant one in 15.
Oh, they look the goddamn same.
Well,
Come on, man.
Look, man, I explicitly said 13.
Minzara gets one more guess, I guess.
Damn it, we can't have a tie.
Well, then find another question.
All right.
I honestly don't know. I mean, that's the only one I think of. I vaguely remember that one. I don't.
All right, do you guys want me to tell you what it is?
Yes.
Long Gooey.
Oh, you fuck.
What?
Yeah, it comes out of the Adamantoise or Adamantortis when they once you get far enough into the Titan trials, or the whatever. I think it is Titan, isn't it? Yeah, it's whatever. The guy that's like Titan, once you get far enough in there, they evolve from the Adamantortis or Adamantoise into the Long Gooey, and they are fucking crazy. Like, it's an intense 25-minute fight every time.
God damn.
And there's a gold trophy for killing one.
So we're tied. We're tied until you come up with another question.
Yes, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. This is insane. So, Minzara, what has Final Fantasy meant to you in your life while Schweiss is finishing this up?
Everything, really. I mean, it's like my favorite game. It's been a part of my life since I was 6. So it's my favorite franchise, favorite everything. So it means a lot to me.
Final Fantasy is love. Final Fantasy is life, kind of thing.
Like that Shrek video. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
Schweiss, you got to have a tiebreaker for us.
Oh man, who gets the tiebreaker question though?
It would be me.
Yeah, because you scored first.
Because he was the last one to be asked.
Well, if it's you, I have to change it from what I have.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're getting special treatment.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I've never been good at chess. I don't know why. I can't remember things.
Well, neither of us are, because this was a 5-question thing, and there's 2 points between us.
Yeah, I made it 5 to make sure, or try to make sure that this didn't happen, but
okay.
I didn't realize the crowd was just uninformed on the Final Fantasy universe.
All right,
give me 1 second.
I can tell you all the character names, what happens in the plot lines, but like really your story knowledge, I can't do.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna take a small break, and Schweiss will have his final Stump the Host quiz question up next.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. All right, what is the name of the spellcaster, the tiny little one in Final Fantasy XI? I won't name the race that she comes from because I think that'll give it away.
Oh my god! I know this.
You can get her as a
Oh shit! The little thing. The
little thing. I will give no more details. You can get her as a trust, I guess. A couple times.
Oh shit!
I know this one.
I know you do.
Fuck!
I thought Joe would know it too, though, because he's said it before.
Well, now that you're asking, I don't know it. That's the problem. That's the problem with these things.
Yeah. Aki Ross looks on behind us in shame.
She does.
She's staring at me too. She wants it.
You could have asked what her name was.
Yeah, he just turned around.
Answered.
Yeah, and then he watches the stream. He's like, "Hey, that's bullshit. It's right there."
Starts with a P.
Okay.
It starts with a P. Fuck, dude. I'm gonna guess Papa Limo, but that isn't fucking it.
No, Papa Limo's in Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay.
All right, Minzara, take your win.
I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's like Shantono or something.
Oh, fuck!
Shantono, baby. Yeah.
So Minzara wins. That means at this
That
point...
wasn't fair, though.
At this... It is fair because I know the name Shantono.
Yeah, he knows it. He's said it before in 14.
I mean, I don't have 600 days of Shantono, but I got like 3. But god damn it, dude, that was what kind of quiz question? Bullshit. All right. So Minzara has 2 points. I have 1 point. Minzara, you won. Congratulations on stumping the host. So that puts me so. We've had 3 guests on, right?
Yes.
For the quizzes, and I have.
Your record is 1-2. You lost to Mecha Messiah.
I beat Brad.
You beat Brad, and you have lost to Minzara this day.
So, hosts 1, listeners 2,
Caleb 3.
All right. Well, Minzara, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your experience with Final Fantasy. It was very pleasant and good to talk to you about.
Yeah,
all this stuff.
It's awesome to see a very different list come out of this. I mean, obviously the 7, the 6 are greatly loved, but it's interesting to see someone that has 9 that low or that has 11 that high. I think that's honestly what makes this the most fun when we have a guest on, is like the surprising, like, oh, I love this game and you guys can fuck off, or the way you give it. I know you're not that vulgar or like mad at us or anything for what we reviewed it, but it's refreshing. It really is. It's
especially refreshing for the listeners, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like to not just hear us going on about our this is good and this is not.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's what's interesting for us listeners, especially like the long-time Final Fantasy fans, because your experience, especially the earlier games, you experience them later. So it's very interesting for me listening to those episodes, your different perspective on those games, where you weren't playing them with rose-colored eyes. Like, you weren't playing them like, oh, I love this game, so I'm going to rate it high type thing. You rated it for what it actually was, which I thought was very interesting.
Okay. Well, thank you. Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you for your patronage, and we hope to talk to you soon on our forums.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.